Welcome to the Painting Nectar podcast. We are here to talk about a very interesting topic today. We are going to discuss sexsomnia, and to join me today is Mr. P.
Hello, Painting Nectar. I'm kind of excited here. We're sitting in our bed and going to talk about night sex.
Yeah, so we had talked about this a few times. We had discussed this topic. We are a little familiar with this topic. And I had never heard it before until you had brought it up. What made you Google it or whatever it is that you did to find out that even exists?
I don't know. I was thinking about just, like we have sex a lot in the middle of the night.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just a reality of like
We do.
there's always, some shit going on in the middle of the night, and it may be at like midnight, it may be at 2:00 in the morning, or, who knows, or, 30 minutes after we go to bed, but like,
Yeah.
just kind of like, and then sometimes like the next day I'm like, damn, did that really happen or did it not? It kind of seems, less vivid. And then sometimes like I remember it, perfectly. But then I was thinking, like there has to be people that this is happening to as well.
Right.
So I don't know. I just started Googling, and
I think there was also a day where you were like, do you remember last night? And I was like, yeah, I do remember last night. Do you remember shoving your tongue down my throat?
Yes.
And you were like, no.
No.
And I'm like, you were a freak last night. You were saying some dirty shit,
Yeah.
shoving your tongue down my throat, all kinds of crazy shit. Yeah.
I'm all embarrassed here. Everybody's looking at no. Dude.
Caught red-handed.
But yeah, and the thing is we've been talking about this now. I don't know. It seems like a while, a couple months probably, and it's like man, and now like anytime anything happens in the middle of the night, which is frequently,
Right?
It seems like a few times a week. We kind of joke about the next day, or like, did you remember it or did you? It's like, yeah.
Well, and when we first started dating, I always would remember like waking up in the middle of the night because you'd be like jacking off, but you'd like be asleep though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you weren't aware that you were doing it. Or like sometimes you'll reach over and like you'll like just grab on me and like talk dirty things a little bit, and then you'd go right back to sleep. So like if it was in the middle of the night and you'd start rubbing me, I'd feel like this motherfucker's about to quit in like a minute. I know he's about to go right back to sleep.
Hey, wake up.
I'd go extra sometimes, take advantage of you a little bit while you're sleeping.
That's funny. So there's some real people who deal with these sexsomnia issue, I guess, as it's been coined.
Yeah, you. I know you came across originally a study of a husband that I couldn't find the article this morning, but he felt like him and his wife were not having sex.
Right.
He felt like they had no sex life. He was very like saddened by it and wasn't understanding. And his wife kept telling him like, no, dude, we have sex like 4 or 5 times a week at night. What are you talking about? Like, we have a great sex life. And he just thought that his wife was like complaining, trying to make stuff up to make it seem like blah, 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 blah. So finally they go in to have this sleep study done, and it comes out that he has sexsomnia, which is a neurological disorder.
Yeah.
It can be caused by several things, to my knowledge, that I've found. There can be obesity plays a role in this kind of sleep that you get, which can then play a role in that kind of stuff, neurological stuff, REM sleep. And then I came across this article this morning, of course, on NIH.gov, about a study that was done, and this was the opposite way around. This was a 42-year-old married woman that was diagnosed with sexsomnia. She would wake up in the middle of the night to her and her husband having sex, and she assumed that her husband was taking advantage of her, that he was, it was causing issues in their marriage. But he kept telling her he was, the husband.
She's wanting the dick in the middle of the night.
No, so I need to link this. She was wanting everyone else's dick. She would be in the sexsomnia, masturbating, saying other people, saying other people's names, saying coworkers' names.
Coworkers.
And the husband's like, this bitch over here. So, and then apparently another issue that was causing problems was that she would wake up in the middle of the night to them having sex, and she assumed that her husband was not letting her give her consent, and that he was taking advantage of her in the middle of the night while she was sleeping.
Do husbands and wives like still do consent
I'm like,
talk?
please take advantage.
Hey, baby, I know it's been 8 years, but can I still have sex with you tonight? Sure.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I don't know. I don't know.
So they, she of course went in, did the sleep study. They apparently got her on clozapam. The only thing that they could attribute was that she had a past record of sleep talking as a child. So they thought maybe there were some neurological things that dealt with REM sleep at the beginning that were issues. And then she also was slightly obese, and apparently the space between the tongue and the roof of the mouth where it rests, that matters when you breathe.
Yeah.
And so they were saying there were also issues with the sizing. She had a small palate or something. And so
she can't suck dick.
So that wasn't...
Kick her out.
You heard it first. I heard it right here. But yeah, apparently that was an issue. So they got her on clozapam, which is a pharmaceutical drug, I believe to help sleep. And after a year on it, her symptoms started to go away, and she got off the clozapam after a year, and happy life.
Yeah, I found this article. You were talking about things that can be attributed to sexsomnia, in this article on sleepfoundation.org. Talks about, it says, what causes sexsomnia, and it says a few things, but it says obstructive sleep apnea is one. Sleep-related seizures. Man, that'd be bad. Could you imagine having seizures when you're sleeping? Man, I had a friend whose kid had epilepsy.
I was going to say the same thing.
And it was, man, he was like, I remember him telling me, he was like, that is something I would not wish upon my worst enemy, seeing his. I couldn't imagine.
So sad.
Klein-Levin syndrome, chronic insomnia, restless leg syndrome, narcolepsy. I knew a guy who was narcoleptic.
I bet you did.
Persistent sexual arousal syndrome. Always wanting to get fucked.
Dang, you probably have that.
I probably have that too. So do you.
Sorry.
You've been told that you have a hypersexuality.
Oh, and personality bipolar disorder or something. I think it's what it was. Shout out to my mailman diagnosis.
Sleep-related dissociative disorders. That's interesting.
What? Say that again?
Sleep-related dissociative disorders. Nocturnal psychotic disorders, or teeth grinding.
Ooh, my dentist tried to say that I grind my teeth, and I told her, no, I'm squeezing my jaws during the day. She goes, oh, I don't know how to help you then. I'm like, I don't think anyone can. I'm like, no, I'm always tense. I'm just always like that.
Yeah, so it's definitely a sexsomnia, but, I kind of, for me, like, it's, I was talking about at the beginning of the show, sometimes I don't remember it at all.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, not at all. Like, not even the faintest memory
He'll be
of
like,
anything.
what?
Like,
I'm
no
like,
clue.
yes.
And then sometimes, like I'll kind of, like, wake up halfway through it. And I'm on top of you, and, like, my fucking hands in your mouth or some shit. I'm like, whoa, like, oh, this is great.
He is literally quoting an actual time. He literally was just, like, shoving all his fingers in my mouth.
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever you want to do to me.
So then it's good. Then you just roll with it, and you're always sleep. Like
I forgot about that.
Last night you slept naked or just with a t-shirt on.
Yeah.
You even took your panties off before bed.
I did, yeah.
So I fucked you before bed last night.
You did, but typically what happens is we'll fall asleep, and then like 15 minutes into it, we'll be like in that half asleep, half awake, and then we have sex, and then that way we like clean up, and then we're like Sometimes I just crash back out. I'm like, don't even give me a towel.
I don't need it. I'll just
Let it sit.
keep the cream by.
You just let it sit and go to bed. Yeah, because you'll like knock my ass back out, right back out.
But it's the best too.
Oh my God. And we, you know, when we first started dating, we used to have a lot of morning sex back when we weren't around each other 24/7. But
True.
married life, but now we like evening sex.
Yeah.
Long day, crash out sex. That's like the best.
Yeah. Like just
For
get in
us,
bed,
anyways.
like just like about to fall asleep, and yeah, it's real nice.
Or sometimes I'll fall asleep and then we'll do it, and then I'll be like super ready to
Yeah,
fall
because
asleep.
we always go to sleep together. That's something that's kind of interesting. Panty Nectar here. She's already looking at me like she has this thing to where if I get up
Explain
and
it,
start, well, it's hard to explain. But
Oh, you were just explaining.
if I get up and I'll like start making my way to the bedroom, she'll be like, "Are you going to bed? Are you going to bed?" Like you'll be sitting on the couch and be like, "Chill, I'm just gonna change clothes." Like you're going to be left like.
He acts like he's offended by it. He loves it.
The first hint that you think that I'm going to bed, like you're up and in here and beat me to it.
You know, like it's my favorite part of the day. He's like, damn, I'm an ass.
Then I was thinking about the whole fan thing. You know, have we talked about the fan remote and the fan?
Oh, I was like, fan, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? Here we go.
I like it. I like it nice and cold. And
I like it cold too, just not while I'm chilling.
So the fan stays turned off.
It does not stay. It's literally on 1 right now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so
But it goes to 6.
So I was getting my nails done the other day with a friend, and I received this text message that said, "Do you know where the fan remote is?"
Yeah.
And I said, "On the bed somewhere, where it always is." And you sent me like 4 videos of you searching all over the bed for the remote.
And then I was right there in between these 2 pillows, just sneaking out. I was like, oh shit, I kind of missed it.
Yeah, we got to make sure that you get good sleep. You know what I mean? Nice, cool sleep. So
That's important. Sleep is.
That's sexy.
I was going to mention, talking about sleep, as you were mentioning the sleep, sexsomnia. Sleep is such an important issue. I mean, it's like we take sleep for granted, right?
Yeah.
Because like every night, most of us go to sleep or whatever your schedule is if you work, you know, however. But you get sleep. But what many of us don't realize, including myself, is like the significance that sleep really plays into to your overall just health and well-being and your mood, you know, your cognitive function.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Some people can get very little sleep and, you know, do quite well throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then, you know, other people like me, like I think
Yeah.
like
How much on average do you think that you get?
how much sleep do I get? I'm not sure. But if I can get, you know, however many hours of sleep a night, like if I get any less than 4 hours, I'm fucked. Like done.
Yeah.
But I think like I need 6 hours. If I get 6 hours of sleep, I'm pretty good.
I think 5, 6 is like good. 5, 6.
Yeah.
Now take 8 hours.
5.5, 6 hours.
But yeah, I think like that's decent.
I don't know. Like nowadays, like if I sleep, like I can't remember the last time I slept 8 hours. You know, it's like I just start waking up. Like this morning, you know, like I just started like getting up. I was like, holy shit! Like I'm up. You know, some mornings I wake up.
I know you turned on the light, and I was like, "Good morning."
Hey, how are you?
I'm like, "Get up and do it. Get up and do it." Got to start the day because we really, you and I are. I don't know. I feel like we're very like fluid people. Like whatever is in our routine for that time is like what we're in, and I feel like sometimes we can be night owls and like we can chill and be up, but then like we're really morning people. But then there's sometimes where I'm not a morning person, but I feel like we really try to utilize our free time, you know, very well. So we're morning people. We like getting up early.
I think I've always kind of been a morning person. Like even like when I was staying up late and sleeping in really late, you know, I'd still prefer to get up in the morning. Like, and then especially like like kind of what really snapped me into that, I guess, was just time in the military. It's where you have to get up really early sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And so now and then like y'all get like, you know, jobs and shit and obligations to where you have to be at work early, and some people never really like adjust to like becoming a morning person. You know, like some people like seriously despise getting up early.
Oh yeah.
And,
oh yeah.
And it's like me, I'm like, fuck it. You know, sometimes like, don't get me wrong, like when the alarm goes off sometimes, or if I know, like, I'm like, damn, but once I'm up, I'm up.
Yeah.
I'm good.
It's getting up.
It's just
that's
like a
hard.
few seconds really, like a minute or two.
And I feel like you miss out on so much of your day when you don't get up early. Like, I feel like if you wake up at 10, like we wake up at, 4 typically, that's freaking, dude, that's 6 hours that you've already gotten in, like, that you'd miss out if you got up at 10.
Right.
You know what I mean? That to me is really crazy. I feel like there's so much time in the day that people don't use.
Yeah, you know, it's like we talk about like people, myself included, you know, I don't have time to do this, or my schedule's so busy and I don't have time, right? And it's like, but you look at the most successful people in the world, and most of them, or many of them at least, are avid readers.
Right.
And they'll set aside an hour or two a day to read.
Yeah.
And it's like, if that person has time to do it, then I have time to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I should just be making the excuse. So
That's true.
I was going to, I say all that because of the time management thing. It's like, I really do admire people who have like time management figured out.
Right.
You know, some people have that shit freaking hashed out, like their days scheduled. And it's like me, is like, what day is it?
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
I don't even know.
us. Yeah. I'm really curious if any of our, anyone listening or anyone that's a fan, if any of you guys have maybe experienced a sexsomnia type experience, I would love if you would write me in on any platform, preferably Twitter, or, if you're on OnlyFans, then respond on that. But that way I can see your response. But I'd love to be able to hear some stories. If you guys, we know this is a real issue. These two examples this morning, this wife truly thought she was being taken advantage of, and the husband, in the other article that I couldn't find, he thought he didn't have a sex life with his wife, and his wife's like, I'm exhausted. We fuck 4 times a week.
And that went on for years. Yeah.
Before they finally got help, as well as the 42-year-old woman, she went years without help as well. And there were a couple motivators that said in her reasoning for wanting to seek medical attention for it. But we know it's a real issue, or maybe you kind of are on the lighter side of it like us, and we kind of enjoy it a little bit, so whatever.
We like sex all the time.
Yeah, we like sex.
Midnight, midday, mid-morning, fuck it.
Mid-sleep.
Yeah.
But we would love to hear your story, so please write us in.
Yep. Penny Nectar, thank you so much for having me on this 73rd
3.
episode.
Watch, that's going to be wrong.
Yeah, right. I think it's 73rd. But thank you so much, Penny Nectar, and thank you to your amazing community for all the love and outpouring of support they give you and I. And it's just a great time being here with you, and can't wait for the 74th episode.
Yes, we are so grateful. And also, if you guys have a topic you would like discussed, please write us in as well. I like kind of talking about these more like niche, unique, maybe the cages was like on the kinkier side.
Yeah.
So if you guys have something you would like for us to discuss, then write us in. We'd love to hear it. So have a good one.
See ya.
See you next time.